Hey guys, today I found another post on Reddit under the personal finance section. Username Yetish post laid off, take time to travel. Uh, it says that he is a male in the U.S. In early 40s. Recently got laid off due to the company dissolution, rather than his performance, anything like that at all. Was making pretty good money, $160,000 a year, saved about $190,000 in savings. Is an avid traveler, and wants to travel for about 6 months or so. Talked about going to Southeast Asia to kind of travel for a couple months and coming back. Currently, been laid off for a few months, and spend some time with family, friends, and taking small trips here and there, and wants to travel. Spend about $2,000 a month or so in travel. Currently living in a very high cost of living area, but he would put all of that. He would ditch the rental apartment, put everything in storage, travel, come back, and probably stay at a low cost of living area first, and then slowly but surely, gradually come back to high cost of living area just to find the local employment, and things like that. The question that he has is that he wants to hear from someone who's done this before, and any perspectives and things like that, just to see how things are, because he has to obviously either make a decision to find a full-time job or go on vacation or go on this trip, very, very quickly, because the cost is so high where it's at currently. First of all, I actually never done that before, right? I kind of wanted to do something like that while I was in college, but I have never done that since graduating from college, and I just never had the courage to do that, just because, I guess one, I'm very timid about something like that. I just, paranoia about these things, because I haven't, I've had wrong idea about this and that, and Grant Cardone always talks about it takes courage to make money, right? And I guess I lack in that area where I don't have so much courage to make a whole lot or about the money and stuff like that. But I read a comment from the one of the posters, identify themselves as a recruiter, and that was a great idea, because it's a good story to tell, and it's a good thing you could talk about during an interview, and they're to a degree very envious of your situation, for a reason or another. One could be that it sounds like you don't really have a family, or like you're not married or have kids or anything like that at all, which makes things a little bit better, right? I'm not sure if that's in the picture in the future for you, but as of now, it sounds like you're not obligated in that regards, which is helpful. Obviously, financial sense, that's actually not a good idea, right? Obviously, that we know that, going on a travel vacation trip for 6 months, the opportunity cost, right? Even though your actual dollars and cents may still be okay, because you're budgeting about $2,000 a month, let's say, plus the insurance. I think you said that you didn't kind of factor that in. When you have $190,000, $190,000 in savings, what is that? $2,000, $2,500, $30,000. So it's not a huge difference between what you have now versus when you come back. And obviously, after you come back, what the factor we have to look at is how long will it actually take you to find a new job, start earning income. What would that income be in relation to the expenses that you have and things like that, right? So that's the biggest thing. But again, the opportunity cost of you actually not earning while you're gone for the next 6 months, and again, looking how long ever it takes for you to actually find a new job, could be big, could be huge, dent or impact on your quote unquote retirement. But I think in life there's actually more to it than just having the finances and monies and dollars and cents. I think there's got to be a certain other calculation as regards to your happiness and just well-being of just living. And I think the one of the things is that if you are an avid traveler, if you are thinking about doing this as is anyway, sooner than later, before you get a little bit older and stuff like that, when you have the chance, while you still have the chance and time to do so, I think it's a great thing. The current market condition and then this uncertainty about the future job, that will always be there. They're talking about the recession, impending recession, coming recession, how big it would be. It's always been talked about that, and there's always a fear of this and that. But you do have a family here, and you do have some friends here where you can kind of crash and stuff like that, stay with. So I think you would have. I don't think you're gonna be. And just the fact that you are able to make $160,000 a year living in a high cost of living area, and be able to have $190,000 in savings, tells me that you're pretty budget conscious person and knows how to manage money, right, and stuff like that. So I think you'll be able to kind of bounce back pretty well, pretty quickly once you're back and looking for a job and finding a job. But as far as the traveling and living, quote unquote, the life, living in style, I think when you can do it, you should definitely do it. When you have the courage to do it, you should definitely do it, because I think they say there's two types of regrets, right? One is the regret of doing it, right? It's like, oh man, I should have done it, but I did it. Look where I'm at. It's just I shouldn't have done that. That was my mistake. Versus regret of not doing it, right? Which is, man, I really, really wish I would have done it, even though it could have done this, it could have done this. But I wish at least I could have done it, and I tried it. And now that I got it flushed out of my system, now that I know that was a bad thing and stuff like that. And they say that if they're both bad, obviously, but if you had to choose, if you had to pick one thing as a quote unquote worse than the other, I think the regret of not doing it is, in a way, it's worse, because whatever it is, that the downside that you got by doing it, typically, and I can't think of really any specific ones that you can't really recover, but you can bounce back. Like if you lost some money, you can get it back. The job opportunity that could have been presented to you that you could have gotten, you could have got somewhere else. You could have gotten. There are so many different things, but if you don't do it and you regret of not doing it, you can't really go back in time to do it. And if it's something like this where you want to travel for 6 months, you could travel when you're at 60, 70, 80, but that would be a whole lot different than if you're traveling at 40, right? And I'm learning that slowly but surely. My wife tells me that all the time, and I really need to do something like that for myself and for my family and stuff like that too. But I'm not an avid traveler. I love to travel, but not like I gotta go here, I gotta do this. It's just it's a good idea to do it. I just don't have enough reasons to do it, right? If I had enough reasons to do it, I think I would have done it. I just didn't. It's not just not one of my priorities. And again, I know it's good for me, my soul, and all of that, to experience things, which is great. But again, if you are one of those people who are something like that, I definitely encourage you to do so. And if you're gonna do it, just like you said, you gotta do it fast. Just because, again, if you've been out for, let's say, just 3 months, right, and you're gonna be gone for 6 months, that's gonna be 9 plus coming back and trying to find a job for here and there. If you can find it the day one, which is great, right? That's what everybody wants. But if that gets kept prolonged and get pushed back, that'd be very, very difficult to do so. One thing, I don't know where you had this $190,000 in savings, but if you keep it in high yield savings account, I think they're paying somewhere close to 4% plus or minus. That would be roughly about $600 or more, which would be a great addition to your checking account or savings account, where you can actually get some interest on it. So it will help you hopefully offset some of the costs of putting all your stuff in the storage unit, and help you a little bit more on your travel and budget with the insurance and all of that. And I know you're saying you're going to be spending a lot of that flight with the points, which is great, right? So hopefully this helps. If you do go on a trip, maybe you can come back and post more about it, about your travel experiences and how it was and things like that. Good luck to you, and thank you.